Are you ready to align marketing and sales to make 2021 the best year ever? Welcome to the 2021 Sales and Marketing Alignment Challenge, brought to you by Vanellosoft and the Outbound Conference. Each day you will be inspired, equipped, and challenged to take action, to work together to align your sales and marketing efforts to drive new levels of success. You're about to be coached by some of the world's foremost marketing and sales thought leaders. This is going to be practical and fun. So grab a pen and a notepad and get ready to take action as we join our hosts, Darrell, Amy, and Jim Karrh.
All right. Hello, and welcome back to a special session of the 2021 Sales and Marketing Alignment Challenge. Darrell, Amy here today with my co-host, Jim Karrh. How's it going today, Jim?
It is going great. Darrell, Amy, good to see you again in our challenge setting. And it's great for everyone. If you're watching this, you may have caught our series live. You may be catching the recordings. You may just be kind of opening the door to the series that we've put together. In any event, welcome to you as well.
We're really glad you're here. And today's conversation is all about taking action. You know, sales and marketing alignment, we've showed the stats all the way through. You've seen it. Sales and marketing alignment, when we got it, things are good. When we don't have it, things are not good. And the reality is right now, Jim, I think in 2021, this is a time where we have to take action. You know, smart companies aren't going to sit on the sidelines when it comes to sales and marketing alignment anymore. We've got to figure this out, and we can't just come to conferences. We got to get it done.
Conferences are a great first step. You know, reading books, listening to podcasts, doing your meetings, going through planning, all necessary. But what's that mathematical thing? Necessary but not sufficient, right? So some of the upshot of the data that we presented during the challenge is those teams and organizations who actually get sales and marketing closer together, not perfect, doesn't have to be perfect, but better aligned, they grow revenue. Those who don't, revenue actually shrinks. So there's really no standing pat, Darrell. You're either going to go forward or unfortunately, you may be stuck in reverse.
You know, we figured out a lot of things during this challenge, but Jim, I think to me, the one thing that stood out the most was putting all of the different alignment opportunities and points aside. The most important thing is to get sales and marketing in the same room, in the same Zoom call, wherever you gather, get around the table together and work on some of these core alignment areas. And, you know, like we've been saying all along, you don't have to be perfect, but you need to take action and get started.
We started this whole idea about a sales and marketing alignment challenge. And for those of you out there, you may have heard this story, but Darrell and I met in the fall of 2020, and we were reflecting on what we were hearing from entrepreneurs, from people who are in sales teams or marketing teams in bigger enterprises and all in between, of what were the elements that seemed to get in the way, what was frustrating them, where were the gaps. And then we thought, what if we could get some experts together to help us tackle this problem, put the pieces? Because Darrell, one of the things you can be frustrated by this, you can think, oh, it's just kind of the way things are. But if you can break it down in its component parts, get the sequence right, take a few first steps, then all of a sudden it's not such a daunting challenge at all, right? So we put this, we found 6 points of alignment and went through that in a series as we can talk about here in a moment, and just saying, let's get a handle on this. And as you mentioned, Darrell, 2021 is the time to do so. There's no, when things were kind of good and easy and there was a high tide, you know, you can use that comparison as well. And boats tended to be lifted. And even if you had a few leaks in the boat, you could probably do okay. That's no longer the case. And so we had these 6 points of alignment that we addressed in the challenge, and that we really want everyone out there who's struggling with this to take on in your company and in your team.
That's exactly right. And we looked at those 6 points of alignment, Jim, and this was what we saw here was an opportunity for sales and marketing to get together in the same room and work on these things. And, you know, when you look across these 6 steps, which we're all very familiar with if you've gone through the challenge. If not, go back through the challenge videos. It's a great way to get started. But strategy, who's your ideal client? Who are we going after? What do they look like, especially now, in this emerging economy? Message, what are we going to say to them? What experience are we going to provide? What technology do we need, and how do we need to connect it up? And what processes from a sales and marketing standpoint do we need? These are all powerful, powerful topics of conversation and kind of springboards to build plans and take action together.
And Darrell, when the two of us and talking to other people who are really involved in these kinds of efforts and thinking through what's helpful, because the whole genesis about this is to be helpful to other professionals and other teams who struggle with this, and knowing how we can bring the best minds and the best intentions together. So the first level of helpfulness is doing what we did in this challenge. Let's break down the issue. Let's offer this up for free. And thank you to Outbound, and thank you to VanillaSoft for allowing us to be able to do that, getting the experts together and giving everyone a roadmap of what they could do. Then we also have heard from a number of people that there could be other levels, other ways that we could provide some help to them, or that they need some help, at least from somebody, in order to make sure that this actually happens and it doesn't just become a series of a few good intentions and things on a to-do list. Right. So we've put together some programs that are at different levels of help, where you and or your team can pace yourself through these steps and put it together for yourself. And also, if you'd like some help, if you like some direct feedback, some accountability, some sequence and deadlines and coaching that tailors it in order to what you really need to accomplish in 2021 and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we take a look at the 6 ways we're going to apply these alignment points and coach you through that, some of you may just want to cut to the chase here. And here's the website if you want to go and learn more about what we're calling the Sales and Marketing Alignment Intensive. It's intense because it's focused, and we know you don't have a ton of time. This isn't something where you've got to go away for 6 months and sit on a mountaintop. This is 6 focused meetings between sales and marketing that can happen over 6 weeks, 6 months, over the year, whatever pace you want to work. But the idea is, in the Sales and Marketing Alignment Intensive, we want to provide guidance for these meetings. So every meeting is going to begin with some coaching from myself, from Jim. We'll also be joined for some sessions with John Langford, who you met, who's our client experience expert. And in all of that, your team will be sitting in the room together. We'll introduce you to some core topics, and then you'll have a guide for discussion and to create an action plan for each one of these core areas. And these steps are very, on one level, very simple, but it's very efficient. We've designed it to be very effective. And all of it working together towards this is going to be extremely powerful for you to drive revenue growth as you get aligned.
We're ready to help. We find that people do in the everyday course of business, right? Everyone's out, they're busy, the economy is emerging again, but it's with some stops and starts. And I feel like there are a lot of people who are trying to catch up. They have good intentions and they get busy. And other things will take their attention. But if you can get yourself on a program where you have the sequence, you're getting a knowledge base, you're getting some coaching, feedback, accountability, the next steps are clearly laid out all the way through, then things do tend to happen. And Darrell, I'll just say that intensive doesn't have to mean painful. You and I have both been through these sorts of processes with businesses. And here's the thing that's kind of a happy effect that comes out of this is teams begin to be energized by it. It's not just like getting a medical exam and you have to force your way through it. Yes, it takes focus and some work and time, but people do begin to get energized. You learn things about the other side of the equation: sales, marketing, product, operations, executive leadership. And I find that people come out of this with a renewed optimism and greater confidence about approaching the marketplace and really focusing their efforts.
That's absolutely right. And as Jim, you've been saying, this is available to you on two levels. This is available to you on a self-paced level. You can will provide the content for these meetings. It will provide the guide to get you going, to spark the discussion, and you can work through it at your own pace with your team. And many of you came. We know because we looked at the registration for the alignment challenge. Many of you were marketing people, but you came by yourself. Well, now it's time to invite your sales counterparts in. Some of you are sales leaders. Well, guess what? This is the opportunity to invite your marketing leaders into this conversation. And then about a third of the people that enrolled in the 2021 Sales and Marketing Alignment Challenge were executives. You own a company. And you know what? This is a great initiative for you to get your sales and marketing leaders together and go, hey, folks, guess what? We're getting aligned, and use this as a guideline to have those conversations. And it's going to be, Jim, we're going to have this across all these topical areas, and you can find this on the website. And whether you do this as a self-paced tour or you raise your hand and say, hey, guys, we really would like, some help, maybe you guys to lead this in a custom private environment for our organization. Either way, these are the 6 alignment points where your company will get aligned, get agreement, get discussion, and get a plan together. And imagine how much more effective your sales and marketing efforts are going to be when you're aligned around these 6 areas.
And that's really the vision, right, Darrell, is at the end of this, you've got the key people on your team who have gone through, and now we understand in a very practical sort of way our overall growth strategy, where the number's going to come from. There's a renewed sense in very practical terms. Where should we spend our time, whether we're looking at account expansion or if we're looking at net new opportunities? Who's that best customer or client? And then on to messaging, there's a renewed sense of what to ask and say and show and share, which stories, which questions in those conversations. And then all the way through the processes, the experience that we're going to build, being able to lay out a customer or client journey, all the way from when they first hear about us to when they're renewing and when they're recommending us to other people. So mapping that out and having a clear sense of that, and how technology weaves its way through this and makes our jobs easier. That's really what's at the end of this. And all of those things together, fitting together well, is going to drive your revenue.
It really is. And that's what it's all about. And right now, as we come to the end of the challenge and turn our focus to taking action, there's really only 3 options right now. Number one, you can do nothing. And guess what? That's what we've been doing for a long time in many of our organizations.
Not recommended.
No, we keep going. Sales does their thing. Marketing does their thing. And as we've been saying, I don't think doing nothing is not a great option right now. It just simply isn't. This is the time to get aligned. Option number 2 is do it yourself. And you certainly can do it yourself. You can take this. But what I've discovered is option number 3 is getting some outside help to lead you along the way. And the reason why I think there's so many reasons why I think this is going to be the smartest decision and the most high impact decision that you can make for your organization. One of them is simply that sales and marketing have been heading in different directions in organizations, speaking different languages, and bringing an outside perspective in, bringing a third party in, if you will, to, in essence, mediate and guide those discussions, I think is going to be something that maybe you haven't tried before in solving this problem, but actually going to be the thing that is going to be the most effective in helping you move things forward. We've had, I don't even know how many people that registered for the challenge itself and have been watching it. We're hundreds. I know we've crossed more than 100 people who have asked to join our LinkedIn group.
we know, and that continues to build even after the
Yep, every
challenge is
day.
over. We're actually getting a bigger audience now that the live sessions are done, because people are flocking to this, Darrell, because it really hits upon both a sore point and an opportunity. And as you said, I mean, look, think at the individual level. You know, what is it that you're going to set as a priority to get things done? One of the best pieces of advice for efficiency experts is, if you have something that you really need to do, you put it on your calendar. You make an appointment for yourself and do it. And in a similar way, if you've got a team, even if it's a small group of people in these different functions, you're getting something on the calendar. You have concrete steps. You have a coach and cheerleader alongside you who can also tell you, is the content practically good? Is this going to be, or do you need some help with it? You have some areas that are great, other areas you need to work on. So being able to get some guidance, being able to make this structured and focused, and also in a way that all the pieces, you're supporting one another, because you're doing this together for a common goal that's really the health of the business going forward. So we're happy. We're so pleased and so honored that we had so many good people come together for the challenge. The real benefit is going to be when real professionals and real companies get very good results from taking these things and applying that. Darrell, I suspect you're the same way. That's what really gets me excited and charged about all this.
It does. I absolutely love watching great organizations grow. And if you're an organization that wants to grow, whether you're a business owner, a marketing leader, a sales leader, you're listening to this right now and you want to grow, I just want to challenge you. We want to challenge you. Do this, do this. The investment amount is so minimal that you'll recover it on your first deal, like probably 10 times over, depending on what type of business you're in. But what we want to do is we really do want to see you succeed from the bottom of our hearts. So we've put this together. Go to intensive.2021alignmentchallenge.com. You'll see there the program, all of the components, how it's going to work, how efficient it's going to be for your organization. You'll even see the guaranteed satisfaction, and then you can make your decision. Hey, do we want to do the self-paced version, or do we want to get some customized, personalized help to lead us through? Either one of those choices is going to be fantastic. And Jim, as we wrap this up today, I just want to say, well, I want to say a couple things. First of all, this has been a blast. This has been so much fun. Second of all, I want to say that we're going to keep this going. We've got bonus sessions throughout the year. All of this was a game time call and saying the momentum around this is so strong. Let's keep inviting leading thinkers and influencers in the sales and marketing space. And we'll have an announcement for our next one coming out very shortly. But Jim, I think this is too important just to be a one and done type thing. So we're going to keep this going throughout the year.
We are, and guess what? On into next year. I mean, I think this is going to be a recurring deal, and it's been very heartening and very encouraging to see the response from our audiences, for our participants in the LinkedIn group, for people sending us messages. And as you mentioned, even not only our guests for the challenge, you are among the best and the brightest and the most practical you'll find anywhere, but the great Joey Coleman, who when we reached out to him, could you do a bonus session, said, sure. So this is something that's near and dear to everyone's hearts and their wallets and their goals and hopes and dreams. So our encouragement to you is do something. We think these frameworks, self-paced or more tailored, as we're helping coach your team through it, we know they're proven ways to go. But please do act on this and let others know about this opportunity as well. You probably have peers and friends who struggle with similar kinds of issues. They have their big hopes and dreams for 2021 and beyond. Bring them into the fold. We're better together in doing it. Not just say better together.
We are better together, Jim.
This challenge. I know, but and it's been, and Darrell, a word of thanks to you as well, because it's been great working with you in this and helping bring this wonderful group together for the challenge.
It really has been wonderful. So we want to encourage you, take action, go to 2021alignmentchallenge.com. And you can access all of the videos are there from every single one of the sessions. And then you'll also learn about the intensive. And by the way, until April 15th. Those of you who take first action, are charter members, if you will, in all of this, you're actually going to get 10% off when you use the code CHALLENGE at checkout on their intensive.2021 alignment challenge. And we're going to sign off today, and we will see you soon on a bonus session. But Jim, I just join you in saying, let's take some action and let's get aligned.
Thank you for joining us today for the 2021 Sales and Marketing Alignment Challenge. Alignment requires action. Your challenge to take what you have learned today and work together to put it into action right away. If you've enjoyed the ideas and inspiration you've received today, please take a moment to share this challenge with your friends and clients. Let's all take action. We'll see you again tomorrow.